Welcome to another edition of Sound Advice, and this is part 2 of a static mix. Now, I showed you how to get a static mix with using a loud instrument and then using that loud instrument, turning it down to taste, and then blending in all other instruments around that to gain a static mix. Now, in part 2 of this video, what I am going to show you is how to gain a static mix by using pink noise. So if this interests you, stay tuned and let's dive in how to get a static mix using pink noise.
Okay, now we're inside of Persona Studio One, and I want to show you about pink noise and how to achieve a static mix using pink noise. So what I want to show you is the difference between white noise and pink noise, and I have to let you know about pink noise so you'll know the difference. I have to let you know about white noise so that you'll know the difference between them. And we do not use white noise to try to balance out our mix or to gain a static mix with white noise, because white noise doesn't represent the EQ spectrum of how we hear sound. So it's more of a high end with little less of a low end. So it don't have it doesn't reach on the low end spectrum for what we hear on for our hearing. So let me play you an example of white noise so that you'll know what white noise sound like, because white noise is basically, like a TV noise or the radio station noise, that's coming out of the speakers. So let's just play so you'll have a representation of what white noise sound like. Oh, sorry. Now let me give you a representation of what white noise sound like. Okay, so we hear the white noise. Now let's hear what pink noise sound like. And as you can tell right off the bat, there's a difference in the sound. Pink noise have that low end plus some of that high end, but it gives a better representation of how we perceive sound and what we see on the EQ spectrum, or the frequency spectrum. The frequency spectrum. And white noise, it's really not that comfortable to our hearing. It kind of hurts our ears. I know it hurts a little bit. It's uncomfortable for my ears. Not saying that it hurts my ears, but it is uncomfortable compared to the pink noise. And even doctors use pink noise as therapy for patients that have tendinitis in the ear. So they got the ringing in the ears. This is what they use to help them to drown out that ringing so that they can listen to the pink noise so that they'll be able to go to sleep at night. So pink noise is used. Not only do we use pink noise, or a selected few people, I should say, in being an engineer using pink noise, but it is a remedy that doctors use for people that have tendinitis in the ears. Now, if you don't have in your DAW, you don't have a tone generator like I have, you can download off of YouTube pink noise. So you just put in a search pink noise. A lot of things with pink noise will pop up, and you can download pink noise, and you'll have pink noise in your DAW. So if you don't have a tone generator type of plugin that produces pink noise, you can just put it on a track like I've got right here, and we're going to play what the pink noise is on this track. Okay, so and that's all that it is. So you have so if you don't have something that can generate pink noise for you, you can download something that will give you what pink noise is, and you can use that to balance use that to help balance your track, your music out to get your static mix. So with this, I want you to pay attention to my levels here, because I have it down to a -18. And the reason why I have it at 18, because for my ears, I don't have to strain, and it gives me plenty of headroom when I start using plugins. Now, that's for me. Now, the recommendation, not my recommendations, but what I have read is that if you're going to use pink noise, you could use -24 dB, -18 dB, or -6 dB. So I suggest that you try all of those to see which one goes for your workflow. You know, just give them a try. I've tried all of them, and -18 works for me. And I just told you why -18 works for me. But it could be -6 works for you, or -24 works for you. But -18 works for me because I don't have to strain the ear, and it gives me the headroom that -6 doesn't give me. So that's why I use -18. Now, let's look at the meter, because it's very important to look at the meter. So I'm going to turn on the pink noise. So we can see we're getting a little bit around that 18-ish range, you know, because this is -12, and if we come down, we're getting around that, you know, and we're in the ballpark of that 18. Okay, so now let me just for teaching purposes, let me do a -24. Okay, and then let's see. Okay, so you see it's a little lower in volume, and we're hitting right there on that 24 mark. Okay, now let's go and do a -6. All right, let's turn it on. Okay, and we can see, sorry for the loudness, but we can see that it's hitting right around -6, right? So go back to my original. So this is what's going to guide you in how you're going to level out to get that static mix. So as I did in the last video, taking the loudest source, which we already know, the loudest source is the electric guitar. So what I do is I solo the electric guitar, and I solo the pink noise, because I don't want to hear any other instruments except for the loudest instrument. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the pink noise, and then I want to bring the volume level of the electric guitar under the pink noise. I want to bring it under the pink noise. So I don't want it to be louder than the pink noise, but I want it to be under that pink noise. And I'm going to use that by hearing, but also I'm going to use my visual and just look at my meter once I've heard what that is under it. Then I'm going to look at my meter and to see where I'm at. Okay, so let's open up. Now I'm going to close up. We're gonna have to bring it back up, but let's do that. And let me bring back my tone generator. And okay, so now we can play the guitar, which is right here. We're gonna play that, and let's listen. And now I'm going to turn on my pink noise. All right, so now I have turned down the guitar and put it under the pink noise. So I'm going to do it one more time just so you can hear the guitar under the pink noise. All right, so we have achieved getting the electric guitar under the pink noise, because that's where we want it at. Now let's play the electric guitar without the pink noise, but let's look and see where our levels is at. And look at there, it's a little bit above 24 dB, just a little bit. So it's, like maybe negative 23 dB that we're looking at. But we can see now we have turned down the loudest instrument in the song, and now we are done with the pink noise. We don't need it anymore. And now we're going to, and look what we did. We turned that guitar down negative 11.28 dB. Okay, so now we're going to get the drums in the mix. So we're going to get the drums, and we're going to get the bass guitar. So just to give you an idea of what you would do going forward. So now that I have my electric guitar, it's in it's turned down. So now I'm going back to my kick. Okay, so turn the kick, and now I'm going to listen to the kick with the electric guitar. Okay, so right off the bat, I can already tell that the kick is weak. For this, the fundamentals are just not there. So I already know that I'm going to be doing some processing with the kick, so, but right now I'm just trying to get a balance with the hearing everything, and that's what we're going for. So we're hearing what we need to be doing, or what processing may need to happen with the kick, but we're still just gaining a static mix. So the next instrument I'm going to go to is the snare. So I'm going to turn my mix tool on, and now I'm going to listen to the kick and the snare. Let me rewind. Okay, and all I'm doing is blending in the taste with everything. And right now, for where we're at, I think the snare is sounding pretty nice where it's sitting at right now. So now go from the snare. Now I have overheads. Okay, so now I want to hear the overheads, the kick, snare, electric guitar, and now I'm ready to hear the overheads and blend the overheads in with everything that's playing right now. And don't be confused about this. This is just because this is on a a stereo track, that's why this is coming up the way it's coming up, because it's on a stereo track. But don't worry about that. We're just worrying about the gain. Okay, so let's play it. Okay, so now bringing in the overheads, we hear some cymbals, we hear the ride, not the ride, but we hear the hi-hat, we hear all of this. So when it was recorded, they recorded all of this in together, as one. So they didn't just have a mic separately on the hi-hat. They captured it all in the stereo overheads. So now we can still hear some of the snare. And so I turned it down because we have the snare. So what I wanted to try to get was the decay that the overheads were giving than the mic that's just directly on the snare. So using that to give the snare some decay. So I turned it down just a little more, and to see where I could just capture mostly that decay, but still hearing the brightness of the cymbals and what the hi-hat is doing. So I think I got it kind of there, as good as I need it there for right now. And now I'm going over to the drum room. So as far as with the drum room, now this is the mic that's away from the kick. Not from the kick, but from the whole drum kit, and it's capturing some sounds and some textures. And let's hear what it's doing. Okay. So we're gonna solo. Now let's listen with the room. Okay, so now what I'm hearing from the room is that, is making the kick a little bigger. So we're getting some of that ambience from the kick. And we're getting some of the snare. We're getting like the whack of the snare from the room. So we're getting a blend of the room overhead, and what's really being affected the most is the snare, because we hear the snare in the overheads, and we hear the snare in the drum room, and we have the snare on its own. So the snare is really getting affected, right? So, but we're getting that blend. So before I do the bass, let's just hear the guitar and the whole drum kit going together. Let's hear that with the static mix that we've just done right now. Let's hear that. Okay, so now let's do this. Let's highlight real quickly. Let's highlight all of this, and then let's turn off our static mix and listen to just the raw recording. So for me, what I'm hearing is that it's like everybody's playing separately, and it's like everybody's fighting for some space. Okay, that's what I'm hearing. What I'm hearing, just the raw mix on its own. Now let's turn on the static mix, and now let's hear what we can hear. So now I can hear a little bit more of the kick. I'm getting more of a vibe going on here because I'm hearing more things, and nothing is trying to fight now. It's like everything, okay, it's like, okay, I done settled down the crowd and I want you over here. I want you over here. Now I'm getting it kind of organized. And that's what a static mix does. It organizes so you can hear what's going on now. Now you can hear the kick, you can hear the snare, you can hear the overheads and the hi-hat. You can hear all of those things now. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to bring in the bass. Okay, so gonna unsolo and let's listen to the bass now. Okay, now I've brung in some of the bass, but let's look at something real quick. Let's look at the dynamics of the bass, and what we're seeing here is where we have is the dynamics are real soft here, and now they're starting to get loud here. And then they get really loud right here. So just looking at the waveforms, this should automatically tell you something. And I'm going to give you a second to think about what it's supposed to tell you. Okay, 1, 2, 3. What you should have came to the realization of, I'm definitely going to have to do some dynamic control with my compressor with this. I'm definitely going to have to do that because I have soft parts with loud parts, and I need the performance to be a little more evened out. And that's what your compressor is going to do. Okay. So, but still, we're just getting a static mix, and we can just get it. We can get a feel right now of what the guitar is doing. And that's a good thing. The static mix brings a feel of the song. It brings a feel like, okay, I see I see where we're going, because you're getting that feel now, because you're listening and you're getting in tune what the song is, as far as sonically, you're getting in tune with it. So you're letting yourself have that time to get in tune with it. So now you're like, okay, I see what's going on. I see what's happening. I'm vibing with it, and now you're ready to, okay, get creative in what you want to do to help this recording sound its best. So now let's listen to everything, with the static mix on. Let's listen to how everything sounds. See, so with the static mix, okay, I got it at, I got the bass at 1.68 dB. But as it got to the loud part here, then it was gonna have to be, I need to come back and turn it down. You see what I'm saying? So that's where the compression comes into play, to keep it evened out so it's not poking out, okay, of the mix. So it's a little poking out right now, but that's okay. We're just trying to get a sonic feel of what has been recorded. Okay, and that's what we're doing right now, and we're getting that feel. We're starting to vibe with the drums. The drums are coming alive a little more. The guitar is sounding, in cohesive with the drum playing and everything like that. So now let's listen to everything without the static mix with the bass, and then let's hear how everything sounds now. I should have done it the other way, but okay. But we listened to it with the static mix. Now let's listen to it without the static mix. So you see, and now let's hear it with the static mix. See, already we got some tone going on with just the static mix. The bass guitar is making it sound a little warmer. The kick and the snare and the hi-hats and everything that we can hear with the drum kit is giving that rhythmic groove going on. You know what I'm saying? And and the guitar playing what it's playing is giving, it's starting to come to life now. And that's just the static mix. We haven't done any kind of processing. We haven't put no EQ. We haven't put no compression. All we done is done a static mix. So I hope I'm driving home how important a static mix is. I'm hoping I'm pleading my case, and I'm trying to bring it home, to you, in that you want to use that static mix. You want to put this in your workflow. So that's why I gave you 2 ways that you can do this, so that if one way doesn't work in your workflow, maybe another way work in your workflow. But at the end of the day, if it's not for you, it's not for you. And that's okay. That is totally fine. If you have another way of how you get your mixes done, that is fine. But all I'm giving is, when I'm dealing with my signature sound, this is what I'm doing. I'm getting a static mix because this is part of my workflow in my signature sound. And we're also going to get into the importance of your workflow, because that's what helps you to obtain your signature sound, is that workflow. But we're going to save that for another video. But as far as right now, I'm just trying to plead that case of do your song or your client's song a favor by just obtaining a static mix, because at the end of the day, the static mix lets you hear what's going on before you decide to do anything involving processing. You can just hear and come up with that game plan. Like I said before, you can come with a game plan now of what you want to do, because now you have those tones that, like, oh, this is what I can do. And I want to do this and I want to do that, because you can hear the tones now, and you can get that. Now you're becoming a part of that song. So just think about it. Just think about it. Try it. If it's for you, it's for you. If it's not, it's not. But I'm just trying to plead my case here. So this is the end of showing you how to obtain a static mix with using pink noise. And we're going to go back up top, close this video out. But at the end of the day, listen, listen, listen. All right, y'all.
Okay, I hope that brings some more clarity to the table about a static mix. Not only do you have one way, but I've given you also another way to obtain a static mix. And it's up to you which method you want to use, and also it's up to you if you don't want to use it at all. But I did want to give you what a static mix is, so you have a full understanding of a static mix, and that's what I hope that I achieved. And the other thing that I hope that I achieved is that listening is very important before we do anything to a project or to a song, that we must listen. And so I hope that that's the main thing you get out of this. Listen to what the song needs, because that's so very important in what we do. That is, and I think that's one thing that does not get talked about enough, is listening before we react. And I know that it's a lot of us, because I used to have that habit in being, I'm reacting before I even listen to anything. I'm just ready to dive in and use plugins and stuff like that. But hopefully the main thing you get from that is listening is the key to obtaining your signature sound. And using a static mix, no matter if they call it a static mix, or if you hear gain staging, or if you hear getting a balance, all three of those things mean the same thing, of getting that balance so that you can hear what needs to be processed and what doesn't need to be processed. So hopefully this helps when you're trying to start a mix, clear up some information about that. But I just wanted to leave you with something that was beneficial and that would help you the next time you get ready to partake in a mix of a song. So if you like what you heard, please hit that like button. If you have not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. And if you want to keep up with the content that I'm going to be putting out frequently on this channel, please hit that notification bell. And once again, this has been Sound Advice. My name is Jeff, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.